My obedient family, as e dey hot, e don happen o. My obedient family, come to think about it. Which prayer you dey pray for this 2023 election wey dey come? My prayer be say make we no vote person in, then later we go come dey talk say we dey miss Buhari, and that is a big error. That one na big error. We no need to vote person in now wey come dey miss the current government wey dey now, because we dey complain for the current government say dey no good. So if we come begin dey miss them, that means we don for fry pan pour inside fire. That's why we dey talk say make una vote for compe ten ce, make una vote for credibility, make una vote for person wey say e go fit change this country, no be person wey say e go settle our pocket, because problem no dey finish. If you go for money, problem no dey finish, and money dey finish. If money finish, you fit go hustle for another one again, and problem will always come. If consider say if you solve one problem, another one go come. So voting a credible and a leader that will change this country, at least it will reduce some percentage of our problem. That's why we are saying that let us pray and vote the right choice, so that we won't miss the present government wey dey now, because they dey suffer us. If next one come, now that means we go this suffer triple. That's why I wan leave in the hands of this woman, Aisha Yusuf. Make she educate us concerning this topic, because I see this topic now and I see am for her page say yes, she post am well, and she throw more light concerning this topic which I dey pray for since. And please, obedient family, please share this video as you dey watch, as you dey share am, because it will help another obedient, and it will help another person that is contemplating whether to join the obedient movement or not. Please share this video, comment your opinion, hit the like button, like this video, or make this video go viral.
I'm doing everything within my power to make sure Tinubu doesn't win the 2023 election, just for one reason. I do not want to miss Buhari. That reason. I don't want to miss Buhari. It's basically the reason why I'm actually doing this video. One of the things that a lot of people do not understand is that things can actually be worse than they are right now. Things can be worse to the extent that people will look back and say Buhari was a competent and good president. Why do I say so, and why do I know so? Because the same thing happened in 2015. Literally most Nigerians, there are some few people who we see otherwise. Most Nigerians, myself included, thought that 2015 was the lowest we could get. Things were bad. The economic wars have started. Dollar had started rising up within a very short moment, and that was the reason why APC used it as campaign. Even though a lot of people forget now, they say, oh, dollar was 200 or something there, now it's 700. So imagine what it will be like when dollar is 3,000 naira. So they will not say Buhari was good, was competent, because he was able to keep dollar at 700 naira. Or maybe when a bag of rice is 100,000 naira, then they will not be able to say that, oh, Buhari was competent because a bag of rice during Buhari was 30-something thousand naira or 40,000 naira. That's it. So 2015, things were so bad, and we're like, no, this can't be worse than this. And so the most important thing was to ensure that we didn't reward the then sitting president. I'm like, okay, change him. He's not doing well. He's not listening to people. He's not talking to people. You talk about issues, he doesn't even call. He doesn't even bother, to the extent that even the minister of finance was not the one that was presenting a budget to the National Assembly, because the president couldn't be bothered. I think that was 2014, right? But the president couldn't be bothered and all of that. And so that was 2015 budget that was presented in 2014. He wouldn't even go to the National Assembly. People were talking, like, for example, when they kept saying this person should be sacked. What was his name? Abba Moro, during that whole killings, that whole saga of Nigeria immigration, employment and all of that. So things were unbelievable. I'm not here to, this video is not about talking about all the way the things were, but it's just how a lot of people seem to have forgotten, because of course there were a lot of people who defended the government there. Just as even with the suffering that we have today, there are still a lot of people who are defending the government. No matter how bad things are, you always find people who will defend the government, because there are some people who, of course, they would have been benefiting, or they hope to benefit, or they just simply like the people that are in government. So the crux of the matter was that In that 2015, honestly, we're like, Nigeria is so bad. I remember newspapers were being confiscated by soldiers. We're like, in a democracy, we never thought this can happen. Opposition offices were being attacked, ransacked. DSS was doing all sorts of things, you know, or sitting governors were being prevented from flying. What do you call it now? So some governors were being prevented from entering places. Osun election, Ekiti election in 2014, people like Lai Mohammed were arrested for loitering, and you know, so all sorts of things were happening. The killings that were going on back to back to back, the insecurity and everything. And we thought, oh no, there's no how things can be worse than this. So whoever it is that you bring in, at least will be better, and that will send a message. And hopefully Nigerians will understand that they can always change whoever is in office. And if after 4 years, whoever is brought in doesn't do very well, you can change them. But guess what? Nigerians actually did the change and they went home to sleep. That was something that we must never allow to happen. We must never allow. We must never allow. That's why I keep hammering on the fact that we must hold, if Peter Obi gets to win this election by the grace of God, when he wins this election by the grace of God, we must hold him accountable. We must let him understand that we are the ones that voted you, you know, we are the ones that can also take you out. There's something that, oh, you've been, yes, we are not saying he doesn't know what to do, but it's our job to keep reminding him what we want him to do. Let him put in extra effort and everything. So that thing where people thought that, oh, it can't be worse. So remember, what you're seeing right now, it can be worse. This Buhari are seeing that has done so badly, it can be worse if we don't get in the right person. And so this is not an election for you to stay away. This is not an election for you to not be bothered. This is not an election for you to be praying. God has given us the capacity. That's why God gave us a tongue and a brain to be able to use to make the right decision and be able to vote whatever it is that we need to vote in. This is not the time to sit and not do anything and say that, oh, God will fix Nigeria. God will fix Nigeria, but it is you that God has put here that will do the fixing, because God has equipped you and I with everything that is needed to make a great nation. So please remember, it can be worse than what it is now. We can get to a place where dollar will be 3,000 naira. We can get to a place where bag of rice can be 100 or 150,000 naira. We can get to a place where they will enter your house and just kidnap you, and that's it, and you can't even walk on the streets. We can get to a place where the terrorists or whatever will be the one controlling even our cities and everything. They will even leave the villages and come to the federal capital and be strolling around. Anything is possible. So this election is not one for you to just sit by the corner and think that things cannot be worse. It can actually be worse. And if you do not come out to participate in the election, what will happen? Your vote, you've silently voted for the incumbent. Because when people do not come out to participate in the election, it is the incumbent that wins, the one that is already in party. So we must ensure that we are voting the right candidate into office. Just so you know, and don't say that you were not told. As I just saw that message, I just replied. I said that your last sentence is the main thing that Nigerians should understand. That indeed, things can be worse than what we have. And then we'll begin to miss Buhari and say, hey, God forbid. Hey, how can that be more dinner? Hey, like people will say, I don't even know what that means. And a lot of tribes do it too. My people also do it. They say, how can that be more dinner? May God forbid bad things. Hey, yeah, man. Honestly, so people, this is not the election of staying by the corner. People, this is not the election of just looking away. People, this is not the election of anyhow. This is the election of life and death. For us, for citizens, it's life and death. Because we've seen when there's bad governance is what brings insecurity and what will cost people their life. See what is already happening. The flooding in Nigeria, almost silence. Government, Buhari went to Ongai, was talking about the flooding in Pakistan. He didn't mention the flooding in Nigeria. Flooding has started already. That as of that time from Jigawa. I have a video here. I will look for that link and put it in the description. I have a video that I did. I said, look at, that was like over a month ago or something like that, about the flooding in Jigawa state. And I said government wasn't doing anything. Hunger is already starvation. We're already in hunger. Starvation is staring us in the face because most of the farmlands are underwater. The main places in Nigeria that are really the food basket of Nigeria, they are underwater. They are the local Jadem, Aziz, the Jigawa state, the Anambra side, Anam and all of that. They are underwater. You see water up to roof and nothing. Let me tell you, this suffering we think we are suffering. Let me tell you something. It can be worse. It can be worse to the extent that you will be missing the So stand up. We have days, we still have time. We have about 4 months, slightly more than 4 months to get it right. God is not going to get this work, make it work for us. It is us that we use what God has given us to be able to make the right decision for us. Otherwise, those that will miss Buhari, they will plenty.